Hi, I'm Maggie. Thank you for stopping by Crafts the Charm today. You are most welcome here. Today we're going to try different methods of transferring images to fabric and then sealing them. Let's go have some fun. There are several ways to transfer an image to fabric. For example, there's photo transfer paper for inkjet and laser printers. You can also use vinyl and a die cutting machine like a Cricut. I'm a little nervous about running photo transfer paper through my printer though, and I don't own a Cricut. So today we're going to try some less expensive options with materials I have at home or that you can purchase at the Dollar Tree, for example. We're going to use regular Mod Podge, and this is a matte finish Mod Podge. There is a photo transfer Mod Podge, but I wanted to use an ordinary Mod Podge and see how it works. I have that in this cup here. We're also going to use simple white glue. This is the Dollar Tree brand Jot, and I've mixed that at a ratio of approximately 2 parts glue to 1 part cold water. I also have brushes for applying the glue and the Mod Podge, and I have some popsicle sticks for smoothing out the images once I've placed them on the fabric. I'm going to transfer to 2 different kinds of fabric. This is a muslin, which I've ironed. And this is a vinyl bag from the Dollar Tree. I've ripped out the seams and I've ironed it on the wrong side with a cool iron. I tried to transfer to this surface before and I had difficulty. I think because of the texture of the surface. So we'll see how that works. Now the image I've chosen is this gorgeous image called Painting of Olive Trees by Vincent van Gogh. I've cut it up into pieces to transfer to our fabric. I'm going to pick some pieces that have a lot of vibrant color. We'll do 2 transfers to the vinyl and we'll do more transfers to the muslin. With the vinyl, I'm only going to use Mod Podge as a transfer medium. You want to get a good coat of Mod Podge on the paper. I've tried this before and it was only moderately successful because of the texture, I think. So what I'm going to try to do is put on a really thick layer and not press it down very hard. And I'm going to try another one with a moderately thick layer and I'm going to press that one down. So I'm going to gently press this one down. And I'm going to be kind of aggressive with this one. And we're going to label those Mod Podge pressed into the surface and just plain Mod Podge. Alright, for the muslin, let's do one with just the ordinary white glue and see how that works. So we'll do this one in the top corner here. I may have diluted that too much as it is very liquidy. And that's our white glue. We'll just stick that on there for the moment. The rest of these I've adhered with Mod Podge, and then we're going to try some different methods of sealing them, so that's why I want to have more than one with the Mod Podge. Now we're going to press them down. Any excess Mod Podge that you may have gotten on the fabric, you can clean up with a paper towel or a sponge with some cool water. Okay, now it's 24 hours since I adhered these with Mod Podge, and it's time to remove the paper. The fabric has curled up, and here's what the back looks like. You will want to use cool water for this and light pressure. Begin by applying water to the paper and give it some time to soak in. Eventually the paper will start to roll up and you'll be able to see the picture beneath. It is a slow process and messy. Again, be gentle and patient. Now I've finished one pass and these look pretty good. You can see that in some places the image came off with the paper. I don't know if that's a fault with my original application or if I was too rough when I removed the paper. The vinyl, once again, did not turn out well. There are what look like little holes in both the thick coat version and the aggressively pressed down version. What I'm going to do is let these dry, and the chances are I will need to remove some more paper from some of them. Here you can see they've dried, and now we can see a haze of white paper on top of the images. So I'll gently apply cold water again with the sponge to remove that. It's hard to do because the paper is difficult to see once it's wet. I'm doing this more by feel. And now you can see some of the paper here that's been removed, and I'll continue this process until the images look free of paper when they're dry. I'm going to try sealing the fabric using a few different products. This is Flex Seal, and the intended use is to stop leaks such as roof leaks. This is a clear matte spray-on sealant. I'm also going to try this matte vinyl fusing and regular wax paper. The vinyl fusing and the wax paper will be ironed on, so on the vinyl fabric I'm only going to use spray sealants. To use the vinyl fusing, first cut it to size, then peel the paper off the vinyl and place the vinyl over the surface. Then replace the paper and iron with a medium iron for 8 seconds. Be careful not to touch the iron to the vinyl. Then turn the fabric over and iron the other side. With this sealant, I've noticed there are bubbles between the image and the vinyl that I'm unable to smooth out with additional ironing. I'm following a similar process with the wax paper. I took the 2 spray products outdoors where it is well ventilated and sprayed according to the package directions. Here's what all the swatches look like after applying sealant, and I'm going to let them sit 24 hours. After 24 hours, I'm stress testing our swatches. Assuming that we might want to sew the fabric, I ran a straight stitch down the center of each swatch with my sewing machine. That's the unsealed swatch that had the white glue application, the wax paper, the vinyl fusing, and the clear sealant. None of these were a problem to sew, and the Flex Seal applied to the muslin fabric was also fine. However, I had difficulty sewing the Flex Seal applied to the vinyl because it was still tacky. I tried taping my presser foot, but that still didn't work, so I put a piece of wax paper over the fabric, sewed the seam, and then ripped the wax paper off. That worked fine. Now recall there was bubbling in the vinyl fusing, which I thought might have been caused by my ironing on this towel rather than my ironing board. So I took a couple of pieces of scrap fabric and ironed on vinyl fusing on my ironing board. I also ironed for a little bit longer, closer to 16 seconds. I thought this turned out better, but I still have a visible line on one of the swatches. I'm disappointed, but maybe the product takes practice to use correctly, so I won't give up. Now, the idea of sealing the fabric is so it can get wet without damage to the image. I'm dunking all of my swatches in this cool water. I know from experience that an image transferred with Mod Podge can be removed with hot water and some scrubbing. Most of these swatches repel water and are unaffected by their dunking. The wax paper, unfortunately, has developed some ripples, and the image is dimmed. I'm disappointed because I liked the way it looked initially. The white glue-only swatch is fine in just cool water. So I thought we did pretty well, transferring images to fabric and then sealing them. Even the examples that were a relative fail, I think could have their uses, like the wax paper and the Flex Seal on vinyl, which is still tacky and it's been about a week. I can think of uses for those. I'll bet you can think of projects too. What's your favorite method of transferring images to fabric? Please tell me in the comments below. I'd also be interested if you have any tips for me. I always love to learn. If you enjoyed this content, please consider giving the video a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to Crafts the Charm. Thank you for stopping by today. Take care.